Here we are on Main Street. I mean, you and Jennings, you're still caroling together, right?
We carol. We've just stared caroling together. But
Who else is in your caroling group? I know it's my business to know things. How do I know that? I know things.
Liz Gustafson, Janice Newman, hopefully Sarah Hill next year.
Oh my gosh.
She had a previous engagement. Myself, Jennings. We've got Ann Ford, who lives down the street.
It's super fun. And like
it was fun.
Right, it's like carol bombing, if for lack of a better word, like yarn bombing. They just show up and carol at your place at Christmas. And
we're terrible. Terrible.
I don't believe it for a minute. I heard they were at Dos Perros and they were amazing. Frankly.
We were on the street a lot.
Yeah.
We ended up caroling on the streets.
It's super cool. And I think that's just kind of the point of the story. We're here with my dear friend Jen Donner for Sights on the City, which people have been asking, are we getting back on it in January? We are. Josh and I took a long break, and Chris is now busy with many other things, but hopefully we'll be back on soon. And it's just a small world story for us. It's a Main Street story. We're on Main Street, the kind of things where people in Durham know each other. We both know Jennings through different ways, caroling, at someone's restaurant, business, on the street, this kind of story. Jen runs Dollys Vintage, which we're standing in, and it's a family story too, right? As when I look at it on the website, the name came from
my grandma Doll.
Your grandma, yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to tell a little of your grandma's story?
I had two really great grandmas, Doll and Thelma. Mm-hmm. I just thought Dolly's was probably a better name for the store, but they were super fashionable, just in different ways. Grandma Doll was like the moo-moo, the nice moo-moo, and Grandma Thelma was pretty buttoned up, but their closets were like magic to me. Yes. Yeah. Even when I was younger. So
that's always the way I think of Dolly's, is like playing dress up. We have over the years dressed up your stuff, for our fashion drive-bys way back in the day that Katie Childs and Jessica Blakely put together, and for our Centerfest booth. I mean, when I look around here, I was here a day or two ago, and then a high school girl was in here looking for stuff for her little sister. This is a place to play dress up. How do you put it together?
It is. I don't really have a plan. I mean, even when I started the store, there wasn't a huge plan. I think I've been really lucky to do this at a time of life where I had a little more flexibility, where I didn't have to worry so much about it and could actually do it how I wanted to do it.
Yeah. How do you find all this stuff?
I buy all the vintage comes from just individual people.
Yeah,
I don't buy anything in bulk. I don't.
Right.
I really don't do estate sales. They're too competitive for me. And I've been doing it long enough that people know I'm here, and it just takes a couple people to tell someone else, and then I can pick.
Our 6 degrees of separation, and you have been here 13 years. We were reminiscing about some of that length of time. What's it been like to watch Main Street evolve? On Main Street.
It's great. Well, I've been on Main Street for 5 years. I was at Brightleaf for 5, and I was on Broad Street for 3. So it's been a little
evolution.
Bit of a progression.
Yeah, the Clarion Contents offices trace a little bit of that pattern. We were on Broad Street for a while, too.
That's right. A lot happens on Broad Street.
Right. So, but what's it been like as you've watched Durham develop, as you've watched these changes, as you've been there as a small business person?
And
a mom and a citizen. I mean, it's not like you're just a small business person.
No, no. I mean, the small business is probably, it's pretty far down on the list, actually. And that's another lucky thing. It was a privilege to be able to do this when my kids were basically raised, or they could be part of this. My husband was raised, and he could be part of this. Yeah. And I like being part of everything that's happening down here. Yeah. Which was part of the move.
Yeah. And there's been such a fun, part of this psychology. I know we were talking about some of the employees now and in the past, the interesting people who have worked here, the Katie Size, Anna Wallace, the artistic connections that you have through that.
Yeah.
Are you finding these people? Are they finding you? Is that part of the family thing?
I'll tell you, Anna, I was part of a store on Broad Street, and she used to shop there when she was 13, 14 years old. She's my original. Nice. And so when I moved into Brightleaf, she was 15 and was just turning 16. So she's been with me on and off.
Right, following the journey.
The whole entire time.
And do you follow her artwork?
Oh, yes. I own a bunch of it. Yes, I love Anna. Yeah. And she's, she's been here so long. We just are kind of like a machine. So she has, actually, without Anna, I don't even know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to find an Anna or a Katie.
Yeah, that's another one, Katie Size. And I guess it's just there's a lot of inventory and things. I bet you have so many interesting conversations with the people who come through here.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I get stories about the clothes. I get stories about their families. And I'm old enough now that I'm now getting people's children, you know what I mean, who are in high school or college, and it's I know I learn a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I like best.
Yeah, I bet that heartfelt part. I think that's part of, that's what I like best about the Clarion content too, is that I constantly get to talk to people and hear their interesting stories. You were telling me about the guy in the pharmacy next door.
Yeah, Main Street Pharmacy.
Yeah, off camera we were talking. Shout out to a friend of mine who said he was watching our sites in the city all through the winter snowstorm. Fitting though, like he is also in this Main Street kind of business question about what's going to happen forward going. And I guess you were saying he does a lot of good work. Like
he does a lot of really good work. I mean, it's a small kind of quiet place. And I think one thing that there are people down here that have been here a little bit longer than it was cool to be here.
Sure.
Because they're slugging it out.
Yeah.
And Finney has, he just does a lot of good things. He's involved in all the care clinics. They deliver a lot to people who can't get out. They're super helpful. I think we need to remember with all the growth and all the really cool stuff, to remember the people that have been here.
Yeah.
And he is one of them. He is definitely one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an important balance and it's complicated.
It is.
I mean, we are literally looking at the Tier building and the 21C around the corner, American Underground, 2 doors up. I mean, what's the address here?
213.
Yeah,
213B.
Yeah, Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a pretty fun story to think that it is Main Street and there is all this growth and there is all this forward fun happening. I mean, you're here for all these festivals too on top of it, right?
Yeah.
When they throw a festival in downtown, it just walks through your front door.
Yes.
What's that like in terms of business? Has Durham changed? I know everybody thinks of us as, back in the day, it used to be summer was dead, way back in the day, remember?
Right.
We all know that it did run cyclically.
A dead summer is not a terrible thing, but it's more fun now.
Yeah. What's it like with, is it more consistent, or are these surges of the festivals really matter to you a lot? Like, or is it just like, people know you? I guess on some level.
I guess the walking traffic.
Yeah.
Whether it's a festival or an event or the Carolina Theater, a DPAC, or the a basketball game or something going on at the hotels is very good.
Yeah.
I mean, walking traffic is probably the thing that has increased the most downtown, at least for me.
Right. I mean, I remember when nobody was walking around
No.
town. We both do.
No, yeah, even a couple of years ago, it was a lot rougher.
Right.
But now, there are people all the time on the street, which is real nice.
Literally, we can look out at the street now and there are people walking by, which is atypical in 10 years ago Durham. 5 years ago Durham, for sure. Where do you bring your lunch to work, or do you patronize a lot of the places around here?
I usually bring my lunch because I'm here by myself. I don't like putting that note on the door. Back in 15, I just don't like to do it unless I have to.
Yeah, well, I love the little small world story of Dollys Vintage. It's super fun for us. We do have a zillion Clarion content connections. Frankly, we sell our postcards here of shots of cool Durham people, but if you look around this store, there's not just so much Durham in it. There's so much heart in it, and it's really fun to it's so clear, and the people who work for you and the loyalty of that long story, I think it just shines through in this place, and it's super fun to chat with you and get to talk about this kind of stuff. So thanks. So it's 213
213B.
213B. Just come on by. You're not huge on this social media Instagram stuff. I know you have the Durham doll, though. You have some new stuff from the Durham doll in the store, because I mean, nobody missed that on social media. They're doing so well.
Good. She's good. She came in and did, she's got a Blythe doll, and she's kind of been all over town.
Yeah, taking great pictures.
Great pictures. I mean, there's some super talent.
Yeah, and so what are you selling of her?
So on Valentine's Day, we're having champagne and cupcakes, and we're going to be hanging her art. I mean, it's going to be fun. Yeah, and hanging her art and selling her art, and it's all Durham based.
Awesome, and that's open to the public on Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's Day is a Sunday.
Sunday, 12 to 4.
Sunday, 12 to 4 on Valentine's Day.
It's going to be real fun.
Super.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. We'll probably come back for that. I don't have other Valentine's plans. Wink, wink. As yet.
There's a lot of time left.
Oh, thanks. I
can set you up with a present.
Oh, that's beautiful. I would just come chat, chill, art. Yeah, it would be great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you doing this. So they shouldn't look for you on the internet, or they should look for you. Do you have Instagram and Twitter?
I do. I have Instagram. I try not to bombard people. I mean, I'm a little bit old school. I don't do a lot of advertising. People kind of pop in.
It's about the love and the heart and the walk through traffic. That's our story has gone the same way. We do have Instagram too, Clarion Content. You can certainly follow us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. Our website is Clarion Content Media. We've collaborated with this beautiful person in this great store for many years, and we are grateful to have you on Sites on the City. Thanks so much for doing it.
Anytime, thanks.
Super cool.
Sweet.